So a few weeks ago I was cold calling around looking for potential clients to try and onboard them onto the agency, and I got one person interested, and he actually said he wanted to be onboarded later on that day. So great, potential client onboarded, get the leads for them, then hopefully start working together. But it was definitely not that simple, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about in this video. Now I went to call him after I cold called him, later on that afternoon to onboard him. He picked up the phone and he actually said that no one was there, there was no internet connection. Then I tried to call him again later on and he didn't answer. So the next day I called them again and simply they didn't answer, so I just left it for that day because I didn't want to be too pushy or bothering him. So the day after that I then went to call him again and we started to get onboarded. We started to do the Instagram steps and the Facebook steps, but then something wasn't working, there was no Wi-Fi. So we left it for that day, so we had to go to another day. Cold called him the next day and he said the secretary, the receptionist, isn't there to do all this, that he wants to do it for him. So then we went through to the next day. I cold called them, we started it and it all went wrong because they didn't have any internet connection again. So I cold called him the next day and he didn't answer, and from there he's never answered again and he ghosted me. So I'm not sure if he wanted to actually do it to start with, or if he was trying to postpone it, or maybe he was thinking, I don't want to get started now. I said I wanted to get started now, but maybe I want to start in the future. Whatever it was, he just ghosted me straight away after we tried many times and he had no internet connection and things weren't going as planned. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about in today's video. It's all about actually things won't go so smoothly, and getting ghosted is probably the most inevitable part of it all. So the real thing when you're starting out in business, in my opinion, and one of the things that is inevitable, like I've said before in the video, is actually getting ghosted. I think there'll be people that will say they're interested, maybe they are even interested, but then something goes wrong. Or maybe it's just your onboarding process isn't quite as smooth and seamless as they would like it to be, and so they're just postponing it, and then they never actually get around to doing it. So I think that's quite a big and important part of actually starting an agency, starting a business, whatever it is you're looking to do, whether it's an Instagram account, a crypto trading thing, drop shipping, whatever it may be. I think an inevitable part of it all is you'll get people that say they are interested in it, then they're not actually, because either your systems are clunky or either they were trying to postpone it. Maybe they were interested, then they found out what it's actually all about, and then they weren't interested. So there's many different ways and reasons as to why. I think it's important to understand that if you're getting ghosted and if you're repeatedly calling people and then they're saying they're interested and then they don't actually go and follow through with it, I just think that's not you. I think it's actually part of it. Obviously, if it's your onboarding system and it's your systems that are clunky and that's the reason they've stopped, then yes, of course, that's something and that's a bottleneck that needs to be addressed and issued in the business. However, I always say taking action and getting started is the number one best way to actually move forward. So if you just start the business and your systems are clunky to start with, but you understand that because your clients are actually giving you real life feedback, rather than you spending ages perfecting everything and then something comes up even when everything you think is perfect. So it's important to get started. It's important to use your systems and see how they actually, compare in real life as to what you thought would go wrong. That's quite an interesting part of it all as well. So I think getting ghosted and being ignored, or someone saying they're going to do something and then they don't do it when you're first starting out in the business is inevitable. And how do you overcome that? Well, I think that if you talk to the right clients, if you try to get on board the right clients, I do try to cold call them, email them, Instagram DM them, and I think if you spend time actually doing that for them, or if you offer them something for free and you offer them a month for free of your service or whatever, then maybe they're going to be a bit more open to wanting to work with you in the future, because they can see that it's actually worth it. They can see that you're trying to do for them the best. But I don't think that it's actually you when you first get ghosted or first get ignored in business when you're first starting out, especially when you're making a startup. I just think that's part of it. I think there will be people that do go through, and there will be people that say they want to do it and then they do actually go through with it. But there's always going to be someone, I think, that doesn't go through with it because they either change their mind or interested. And hopefully over time, as you improve the business, as you get more reputable, as you become better or more or more well known, I think that's something that will fade out and something that you won't be experiencing as much. Of course, I think you'll always experience it. It's something you're always going to see and experience. But I think over time, when you become more reputable, when you become more trustworthy, clients will want to come to you rather than you having to always go out to them. And that's kind of a little bit of the stages where you have to go through of when you first start out. You have to do the outreach, you have to go to all of your clients. But hopefully once you become more reputable or well known, maybe in your area, maybe on the online space, then maybe in the future that's something that you won't see as much of. And that's something I'm looking to improve. I'm looking to become, the best advertising agency out there. I want to become so smooth, so seamless that when someone becomes onboarded or when we start providing our services for them, even when the free work is done, it's a no-brainer to want to do paid work with us because our service is so good, because the quality of our work is so good even on the free trials. So I want to have the things I'm working and focusing on fixing with the agency and the advertising at the moment is refining the service, so making sure the service is the best it possibly can be. The onboarding system, so it's not clunky, I'm making so it's so simple, so seamless, and it's so integrated that all the clients have to do is do a few things and then they're onboarded. And then I'm also looking to get the best results possible with the agency, so whether that's getting people more leads, more sales, or more conversions, or a higher conversion rate, whatever it may be, I'm looking to actually make sure that those three things are the best they possibly can be. That's what I'm focusing on at the moment, and that's something that I think if you are finding bottlenecks or reasons why people are perhaps ignoring you or ghosting you, actually take a deeper look. Is there something that's going wrong with a business? Like I said, it's going to be inevitable. There is going to be always someone that says they want to do something, then they won't do it either because they've changed their mind or because they have found interest somewhere else, and that's completely fine, but I think that stage is always going to come. But if it keeps happening time and time and time again, and it's not the potential client's reason for them leaving, maybe it's something that's going wrong in your business, maybe it's something that the system's clunky or onboarding them wasn't quite as seamless as they hoped, or something like that. So that's an important thing to remember as well. If it repeatedly happens and there's a reason for that, then maybe have a look in your business, what's going wrong. Is it that your onboarding system's clunky? Is it your service isn't actually as good as you said it was? And if that's the case, then make sure you're trying to refine that and improve. I'm always looking to improve. Like I said, I haven't made a single penny from the agency yet. That's something I'm looking to change, but I'm not just looking to take money off clients. I could say to people, I'll charge you £10 per month, and then that would be I haven't made £0 from the agency. But that's not what I'm looking to do at all. I'm looking to make sure I'm providing such good value that when it does come to paid work, it's inevitable and it's an easy process for the client to say yes to because our work was so good to start with, even on the free trials. So being ghosted, have a look at your systems, have a look at your business. Is it something that goes a bit deeper rather than just you saying, yeah, I think that's part of the process? Because, like I said, I personally believe it's part of the process. You're going to get people that say they're interested. Maybe you're a content photographer or a content videographer. You're always going to get people that say, oh yeah, come around this day, we'll do it for you. And then you may get a text the night before saying, actually, we've changed our mind, we've found someone else, or we don't want to do this anymore. So I think that is part of the process, but if it keeps happening time and time again, and it's something you feel like you can't escape, then maybe have a look at your business or your outreach method. Is it something you can fix? Is it something actually internal rather than external? Because I know that this has definitely happened to me. I cold called around and I got probably 3 or 4 people interested, and people that actually said they wanted to be onboarded that day or later on that week or the next day, somewhere around that time period. But they wanted to be onboarded soon anyway. And so I got to cold calling them, then I called them again after, and no one responded. And the ones that did respond just said, oh yeah, do it tomorrow. When I called them tomorrow, they didn't answer. So I think it is part of an inevitable thing, but that my outreach maybe wasn't so good. That's what I'm looking to improve now also. Because it's happened to me 3 or 4 times in a row, and I got about 2 of those people I think interested on the same day, and then 1 on separate days. Because I got 2 people interested on the same day and they said they wanted to be onboarded that day, I went to try and onboard them both that day and they weren't interested. They didn't want to be onboarded, or there was a reason why they weren't onboarded. So maybe my outreach is not as good as I hoped it was, or maybe my outreach isn't as good as I would like it to be. So maybe it's something I need to look at, because it's happened to me 3 or 4 times. Is it something that's actually wrong with the business, or is it something wrong with my outreach? Is it something to do with the onboarding process? But for most of those, I didn't actually get to onboarding them. It was just a cold call, and then I called them back and they didn't answer. So maybe it's the outreach. Maybe I need to take a deeper look at how I'm cold calling or how I'm emailing or Instagram DMing. Do I need to be a bit more natural with it? Do I need to be a bit more professional? I'll try different methods. I'll try to make sure that I'm optimizing and becoming the best outreach person I can for now. And then maybe once I become a bit more reputable, if I become a bit more reputable, then I won't have to do as much outreach because I may get referrals or word of mouth referrals or something like that. So that's something I'm looking to improve, something I probably should improve also, because it's happened to me 3 or 4 times. The outreach maybe is the reason that I'm getting ghosted or getting people that said they want to be onboarded but then they weren't onboarded. So maybe that's something I need to take a look at, and that's something I will be taking a look at to see if I can improve anyway. Do I need to be a bit more natural, more like a friend to them, or do I need to be a bit more professional that I come across too friendly and then try to offer them something and that sort of put them off? I don't know. But we'll have to see, we'll have to have a look, we'll have to try and figure out a way to improve that and change it, to improve the outreach for the future and hopefully gain more potential clients and then more clients from there. So make sure you're optimizing your systems throughout, go from one area to the next, because people can be interested all the way up to the last step of taking the payment, or maybe it's onboarding them, whatever your sort of last step of your process of gaining a new client or new customer is. They'll go all the way up to that first stage, and if something's clunky at the last stage, they may drop off and not want to do it. So make sure you're looking at every single part of the system effectively, because you may be thinking, well, if they get past this step, well, they're just inevitable, they're going to sign up, they're going to take the payment, they're going to become a client. But not always. If the last stage is clunky and it's not smooth or seamless, then maybe that's something they won't actually do. Maybe it's something that they won't go for because it was clunky. And if you can provide them with a little bit of value at each stage as well, I'd recommend that's such a good thing. So if you're running an ad currently and you're trying to get people to sign up for your free guide, when they click onto the ad, where do they go? To a landing page, and is there a video there that provides them with some more value, as well as telling them what's inside the free guide? Just so at each stage you provide them with some more value. So it goes ad, click onto the ad, it goes to a funnel, provide them with more value in the video, and then a landing page with a video to provide them with the value and what's inside the free guide. Then they get the free guide, which is free, and that's got value in it too, and then that leads them to your mentorship or your paid course or whatever sort of the outcome of the free guide is. Because I think something many people think that free guides are there to provide you with value, which of course they are, and they're absolutely great for doing that. But I think the main reason why most people nowadays do free guides is to lead you onto something bigger, whether it's their course, whether it's their mentorship. So with free guides, it's important to understand that if you provide them with value at each stage, they're more likely to want to get your mentorship, because the free value you're providing is so good. So they think, actually, if I was to be mentored by this person, I can imagine what the paid work is like, because the free stuff is so good. And that's kind of what I'm looking to replicate at the agency. With the free work I'm doing, I'm making to look that so exceptional, so good, and providing them with such high results and value and quality, that when it comes to the paid work, it's inevitable, because the free work was so good, so they can only imagine what the paid work would be like. That's kind of what I'm looking to replicate with the agency. And when you do that, and when you do that successfully, then hopefully you won't be ghosted as much. You won't have people that were interested and now aren't interested because they want to follow through, because they've seen the results, because they've seen the proof, or because they've wanted to do this for a long time and now they've found the right person to do it, and hopefully that's you and your company. So, and even if you haven't started anything and you're looking to start something, my biggest piece of advice would be just start it. Taking action is the best way to make any progress. It's the best way to get you further towards your goals than you could ever imagine. So just take action. Just get started with it. It's the only way to make sure that you will get towards where you want to go. And then when you do start gaining some clients or some customers, I'm sure the stage of being ghosted, of people saying they do want to work with you, then they don't want to work with you, I think that will come. And I think that's a big part of it. It's a big obstacle that actually you may be thinking, is my service right? Is something really wrong? Or actually, is that just part of the process? So that's something you need to sort of judge by your verdict. Is it something to do with your business? Is your business systems or your onboarding process quite clunky, quite bad? And that's what's leading them to drop off or not be interested? Or is it actually that's just one of the inevitable things when you're starting out? Is someone always going to say that they're interested and then they're not interested? Is that something that's inevitable? I'm not sure. I just think it's part of the process that when you try to gain your first client or try to gain your first customer, I think that's something that will come up. Something you'll experience, but if you have the discipline, the motivation, determination to make sure that this business of yours, the agency, the Instagram account, if you're a personal trainer, for example, if it's something you really want to make work and something you really want to progress with it forward and move it forward, then yes, of course, why shouldn't you be able to achieve your version of success? Because success looks very different to many different people. For some people, it may be buying a house, living comfortably and never having to worry about money again. For some people, it's buying supercars and having big houses and luxury items. But whatever your version of success is, make sure that you're trying to go for it, especially when you have nothing to lose, such as starting an Instagram account or starting a online business that is free to set up and you have nothing to lose. So why wouldn't you want to try and strive for your version of success, no matter if it's free, no matter if you have nothing to lose? And I think you should go for it. Why shouldn't you be able to achieve it in the end if you put in the hard work, if you're determined to it, if it's something you try to grow, if it's something you have a real passion for and you work for it, then why shouldn't you be able to achieve it? And that's my personal opinion, because I'm nowhere near where I want to be, absolutely nowhere near. But I'm looking to get there. I'm looking to refine the agency. I'm looking to make sure we provide the best service to our customers possible. And who knows, in the future, I may not even be running the agency. I may be doing something completely different. But whatever I'm doing, I'm looking to provide value and give the best customer service possible out of any other company that, is ran. That's a big thing on my channel. If you've been watching some of my previous videos, I talk about customer satisfaction a lot because it's something that's so important to me. Of course, you can provide your company and their company with the results that you're trying to gain them, and that's great. But if you provide them with even more than that, if you do weekly updates, or if you give them tips and make videos for them that are specialised to them, or if you communicate with them more often, making sure that you stay in touch with their business, it's all just about making sure the client satisfaction rate is so high that you retain your customers because it's so good, because your work is exceptional and it's the best out there. So that's something I'm looking to build with the agency. It's something I'm looking to improve, but getting ghosted in the first stages, I think, it's always going to come. I think it's something you can't escape. And you just have to push past that initial stage of where it may be frustrating. It may feel like you need to give up or you need to start a new business, or it may feel like this isn't the right business for you. But if it's your first few clients, if it's not happening time after time after time after time, then just stick with it. Make sure you stay disciplined. Don't give up on it, because the only way to not make your version of success is to give up on the process. It's the whole journey. It's not just about the destination. It's not just about the supercars or the nice watches or the big houses. It's about the process. How did you get there? Were you disciplined? Were you dedicated throughout? Did you give it your all? Did you make sure that no matter what, you showed up every day trying to work towards your goals, trying to get towards where you want to be, whatever that may look like? It may be a house that you live comfortably and never have to worry about money again. It may be that you actually really want those supercars, you really want those big houses or the luxury watches or luxury items. But whatever it is, just make sure you don't give up on the process. Giving up and quitting is the only way to ensure you will never make it. So make sure you try and you give it your all, because you never know where it might take you. You never know where the path of the future leads. The business you're starting now may only be a small fraction of the amount of your success. You may start something completely different that is from the back end of that, or from something you've found that you have a real passion for, something you can do really well. So you never know where it might take you. The business you're doing now may not necessarily be the one you're doing in 10 years, 5 years. Hopefully in 10 years from now, I'll have so much more value to provide to you, as I'll be somewhere different. I'll be talking to you about different things because I will have learned so much more. I'll have a lot more value. Hopefully I'll be, somewhere that is not where I am now, as in terms of the success situation, because as of now I've set myself a goal of making at least £2,000 before I return back to school, and that is in the summer holidays, and had roughly 6 weeks to do it. And as of today, we've got 6 days left until I do it. And I think we've only just nudged about £180, £190. So we're nowhere near the target, and I don't know if we're going to get there, to be honest with you. But it's all about, I'm struggling to make £2,000 in 6 weeks now. But hopefully in a year from now, in 2 years from now, I shouldn't be struggling to do that. I should be a lot further ahead because the agency is running smoothly, providing people with a lot of value, and hopefully in turn we are generating some income from that. Like I said, it's not about taking money off your clients or charging them super high prices for an average service. I want to make sure that our free work is so good that when it comes to paid work, it's inevitable and it's the easiest yes our clients have ever had to say, because the service is so good, because everything is on point, we're providing them with results. They're very satisfied, they are intrigued as to how our business can propel them forward and change the trajectory of their business. So they're all things that I'm looking to improve, they're all something that I'm looking to do. But will I get to that £2,000 mark with 6 days left and we've only made about £180? I do doubt it, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying right up till the last day, right up to the last minute. I'm going to keep trying to do outreach, gain more clients, or gain more people interested from other sources of income. That's kind of something I'm looking to do. Will I ever get there? I do doubt it now, but I'm not going to give up. I'm still going to keep trying. Like I said, it's all about putting your feelings aside from the actions you do. If you don't feel like showing up today because you think you're not going to do it, or because you don't think you're going to get there, keep trying, keep showing up, because you never know. You may have something where you hit that one thing that gets you to that goal you're trying to get to, or whatever. So it's important to make sure that even if you feel like it's not going to happen, if you feel like you're running out of time, or if it's too late, or something like that, then just keep showing up. The only way to get towards your goals is to take action. I doubt I'm going to get to my £2,000 mark, but I'm not going to give up because I'm putting my feelings aside from the way I act. Taking action is the best way to make progress, and it's the only way to move forward. So that's the video. Remember, clients ignoring you or ghosting you, potential clients, is always going to happen, I believe, in the first stages. But if it keeps happening, take a look at your systems. Is it your business? Is it your onboarding process? Is it something that you can actually fix to try and make sure that no matter what, you are always showing up, you're always improving, and hopefully those client ghosting rates will go down and you won't experience that as much in the future once you become more reputable and more well known. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to take it one step at a time, and I will see you in the next one.